Hi, it's GramMoose. Today we're going to read a story called Tornado Slim and the Magic Cowboy Hat. It is by Brian Langado. I figured since it was springtime with lots of cold air and hot air that kind of creates tornadoes, we'd read a tornado book. And today we have Oliver joining us instead of Maurice. So, for those of you passing through Colorado with the storms that went through yesterday, hello! This here is a story of Tornado Slim. It starts one fine day as Slim roused himself from an afternoon snooze. He had no idea what he was in for. "Afternoon, partner," said a coyote. "Afternoon," Slim said warily. "Say, think you could do me a favor?" asked the coyote. "I've got this letter here for the sheriff of Fire Gulch City. I'd deliver it myself, but it's my weeding day, and if I'm late, my fiancé will be right sore with me. What do you say?" "Well," Slim stammered, You can see him talking. Okay, interrupted the coyote. "You drive a hard bargain. I admire that. Let's say I sweeten the deal a bit and give you this here hat." "It sure is a fine-looking hat," said Slim, "but The coyote quickly pushed the letter and the hat into Slim's hands. "I sure do appreciate it, partner. Now use that hat carefully, you hear?" Before Slim could say another word, the coyote was off. Seeing as he had nothing better to do, Slim decided to deliver the letter. When he finally staggered into a small town hours later, his feet felt ready to fall off. "Think I'll relax with an ice-cold sarsaparilla," he thought. Oliver got bored and left us. Then Slim noticed all the commotion. Folks were scrambling about and shouting, "Better hit hightail out of here, stranger. The dam's about to bust." Everybody's running all over. Slim took off his hat, scratched his head, then he saw it. And all of the rotten luck. Water was bursting through the broken dam, and Slim was right in its path. "Oh boy," he muttered. Slim closed his eyes and gritted his teeth, but after a moment he realized he was still standing. Not only that, he was bone dry. Slowly he opened his eyes. The water was flowing right into the hat. Imagine that. Slim heard cheering. "Way to go, partner. You done saved our town." The townsfolk cooked up a feast of smoked ribs, corn on the cob, plenty of baked beans, 5-alarm chili, and a great big barrel of sarsaparilla. Slim could have stayed forever, eating free food and enjoying all the attention, but then he remembered the letter in his pocket. He set out again to Fire Gulch City. By the time he reached the next town, Slim's legs were ready to come loose. "Woo boy," he thought, entering a saloon. "Sure could go for some ice-cold sarsaparilla." But before he could bless the bar stool with his behind, he heard a shout. "Twister!" You know what a twister is? It's another word for tornado. Everybody began to panic. Everybody except Slim. He had the hat. "Back in a moment, folks," he said, sauntering outside. Folks shouted, "What in blazes are you doing, stranger? You'd be blown clear to Missouri." Slim walked straight towards the tornado until... Did you know that Missouri is right next to Kansas? That's where GramMoose lives. Whoosh! He spun around and around until something awful faster and higher each time, dizzier than he'd ever been in his whole life, Slim grabbed that hat off his head. The tornado swirled right into it. Now on solid ground, Slim put the hat back on. Folks cheered. "You saved our town. That fella done took on a tornado." Another barbecue was prepared. There was smoked ribs, corn on the cob, plenty of baked beans, 6-alarm chili this time, and a great big barrel of sarsaparilla. Slim didn't stay too long, though. He had to get to Fire Gulch City. The coyote was counting on him. By the time Slim reached the next town, his whole body felt ready to crumble. But once again, the ice-cold sarsaparilla would have to wait. Because the meeting hall's on fire, someone shouted. "Hot dang! Everywhere I go there's some kind of disaster," thought Slim as he ran towards the burning building. He held out the hat. This time, all the water from the dam gushed out until the fire was nothing but a few wisps of smoke. Slim could hear the familiar sounds of folks cheering. See him pour his hat on the fire? Then there was a scream. "It's Smelly Jim!" While everyone was distracted by the fire, Smelly Jim and his band of outlaws had robbed the bank. They were headed for the getaway wagon. "Halt!" shouted Jim. He's running after them. He had barely caught up with the bandits when a gust of wind blew the hat off his head. The hat did a twirl through the air and landed right at Smelly Jim's feet. "Thanks, partner," laughed Smelly Jim as he lowered the hat onto his head. That hat began to tremble. "I wouldn't do that if I were you," Slim warned him. What do you think's going to happen? Before you could say sarsaparilla, the tornado shot out. Smelly Jim and his band of outlaws were whisked into the air. Round and round they went. Their cries could barely be heard over the roar of the wind. "I'm gonna be sick! I want my mommy!" they were yelling. The hat flew out of Smelly Jim's hand and headed right back to Slim. As soon as Slim caught it, the tornado swirled back into it. The street was quiet. Smelly Jim lay face down in the water trough. Sprawled out around him was his band of outlaws. The townsfolk cheered as Slim led the bank robbers to jail. "Nicely done, partner." "You showed 'em," someone said. The mayor approached Slim. "How'd you like to be the sheriff of our fine town?" he asked. "Me? Sheriff?" asked Slim. "Sir, I'd be honored." "Then you got yourself a job," said the mayor. "Now, let's get that barbecue pit fired up, folks. Bart, how about a batch of that 7-alarm chili of yours? We've got some celebrating to do." I don't think I've ever had 7-alarm chili. "There's just one thing," Slim said. "I have to go to Fire Gulch City first." The mayor gave Slim a funny look. "Shoot, son. This here is Fire Gulch City," he boomed. "Are you kidding?" said Slim. "I've got a letter here for the sheriff." "Well then," said the mayor, "I reckon that there letter is for you, 'cause you're the only sheriff we got. Last one left and got married." "How do you like that?" thought Slim. "That coyote ran me ragged and for what? To deliver a letter to myself." Slim opened the letter. "Dear Sheriff Slim, I know. You're thinking you could have just opened the letter right when I gave it to you. Save yourself the trip. But it wouldn't have worked. You needed all that traveling and adventuring to get where you are, just like I did when I first became sheriff. So congrats on the new job, and take good care of that hat. It's been worn by sheriffs for a long time. I'll stop in and visit next time I'm in town. I've got some great wedding pictures to show you. Yours truly, the Coyote. The end. What a fun story. Good night.